Okay, welcome to Module 5. Spies can be traitors. Okay, by spies, I mean the um, credit monitoring, like Module 4. Okay, now when you get your credit report from, let's say, Credit Karma, okay, you're getting your two reports from the two different bureaus that Credit Karma deals with, okay, but they're actually coming from the actual bureau itself, okay. When you get your report from the Bureau, they have in the terms an arbitration agreement. That means that if you can still dispute an error, however, if you disagree with the Bureau, how they manage the dispute, you can't take them to court. It has to go to arbitration. Okay? And arbitration is set up by them. It costs money to you, and you always lose. Okay? And when you're sending the dispute letters, if you haven't opted out of the arbitration agreement, you know that you're highly weakened. Okay, so when you get your credit reports, you need you to opt out of the forced arbitration clause. Okay, it's just a letter. I've provided it here in this module, as well as in the forms section. Okay, you'll find it. It'll be called opt out. Okay, opt out arbitration. Okay, so let's see here. This is TransUnion. Okay, here's the one they stick into their terms of use. Agreeing to resolve disputes by binding individual arbitration. Okay, this section is an agreement to arbitration. Disputes that may arise as a result of TransUnion interactive membership products or services of the agreement. Read this section carefully. You understand and agree that both parties would have had a right to litigate disputes with the court and have a judge or jury decide their case, but both parties, by entering into this agreement, choose to have the dispute resolved through binding individual arbitration. Okay? So you're basically giving up your right to the jury trial, the judge trial, everything. Okay? Credit credit bureaus don't want to go to jury or anything like that. Okay, it's too costly. They would rather just delete the item. They're not going to go to court. But if you give up your right to go to court, you've given up everything. Okay, so you have to opt out. Okay, and as you see here, you have the right to reject this arbitration agreement, but you must exercise this right promptly. You must notify us in writing within 60 days, and they have the address here. Okay, here's Equifaxis. It's pretty much the same thing. Arbitration, neutral arbitrator, they're never neutral. And it costs money to do the arbitration. You have to opt for this, okay? And let's go on here. I'm going to provide you with all their addresses, so you don't have to write these down. They're going to be in the forms with the opt-out of arbitration, okay? Here's experience. Dispute resolution by binding arbitration. Please read this carefully. It affects your rights. Even though I'll actually show it to you on Experience website. Hold on a minute. Okay, so here's Experience actual website, and you'll see that it's incredibly small, buried at the back. Okay, they don't want you to see it. Okay, that's why it's way back in the terms. Okay, so let's move on here. Okay, so we've seen Experience. They all have them. You're set. They're setting you up to fail. Okay. So let's move on here. Just blah blah blah. Let's see. Okay, so you need to opt out. Okay, and in order to opt out, I'm going to provide you with the addresses to opt out. You need to have. Here's what you're going to do. Okay, you're going to send the letter that I provide to you. Okay. enclose the identification form. Okay, this identification form with disputes later. Okay, so you're going to have to make up your identification form. You're going to need it for all your dispute letters. Okay, sending off a letter. A lot of people will tell you, I'll send off a letter, a dispute letter, blah blah blah. It has to be done the way I'm telling you. Okay, don't just send off some random letter. Okay, it has to be notarized. Okay, and it has to be sent registered mail. You're dealing with a business here. Okay, um, you need to have everything recorded. Okay, that's why you have to have it notarized, your identification form, and you send it registered mail. Okay, keep all your copies, keep it all organized. So for this opt-out, okay, this is just a sample identification form. What you need, okay, your driver's license. Okay, you can have your driver's license, a bill addressed to yourself. This is so that the bureau can't say that it's not you. Okay, opting out, and they do that all the time. Or sending in your dispute. The first thing they do is pretend that it's not you. Okay, so bill address yourself and a paycheck stub with your address on it. Okay, so you're basically proving that this is you disputing this, or in this case, opting out. Okay, so you got your driver license, a bill addressed to yourself, and a paycheck stub with your address on it. All right. So on the bottom of this ID document, and remember, you can print this in the form section of this package. Okay, so on the bottom of the ID document, I declare under penalty of perjury on the laws of the United States of America that this identification provided is me, then your name and your signature on the date. Okay, so you're telling them that this is me under penalty of perjury. I'm the one opting out. Now here's the opt-out letter. Okay. Now remember, in the form section, you're going to just print this letter. Okay. Fill out your information. It will come in a Word document so that you can edit it. Okay. All right. So you've got the letter. I reject the arbitration clause in the terms of the interactive service agreement. I recently purchased a credit report. By purchasing, even though it's coming from Credit Karma, it's purchasing. They're purchasing. Okay. Your name, signature, and here is where you get it notarized. Okay. You're just going to print these two forms. Just take it to the corner. Usually the mailbox places have a notary. UPS always has a notary. Just go to your local notary. Call around. Any postal annex will have one. Just find out when they're in. They'll come in. It'll cost you $10, but it's going to save you a lot of time and grief when you're fighting these credit bills. Okay, you're getting your stuff removed. You will get everything removed if you follow what I'm telling you. Okay, so that's that, and then get it notarized. You might bring your ID, and I have the addresses, but you don't need to write them down or anything. I've got them for you. Forms. And you need to track, so you're going to send priority, and then file all your paperwork. Okay, so that you have proof. Okay, because we're going to use this later in a different module when you're disputing items. We let them know that you've opted out of the arbitration. Okay, which adds a whole new level to it. Okay, so that's it for now on this module. Module 6. Go to module 6.